Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Brownie from the Young Zings. Today we have a deck profile given by Gbeez. A lot of you guys have been asking for this deck. What deck are we doing today?
We're playing Zefra Zing.
Awesome. Alright, can you tell us a little about the deck?
Sure. So basically, you try and spam the board with level 7s and level 8 synchros and just make massive combos and put your opponent either at a disadvantage to where they lose so many cards that they can't do anything to you, or you just do that and then kill them in one turn. So you just put a lot of damage on board really quickly using Voxia and your other big synchros.
Alright, cool. So, let's go again to the deck profile.
Alright, so start off with the non-pendulums. We have 3 copies of Jatu. He's your level 2 tuner. He's dark. His effect, he starts off all your combos either using his effect or just him as a tuner. Basically, you can discard 2 Yang Zing cards and special summon a Yang Zing with 0 defense and 0 attack from your deck. So basically, you can summon Zefra and any other Yang Zing and just make massive combos from there. So yeah, he just starts off a lot of stuff. It does kind of suck that he discards his cost though, because he gets negated a lot, and that kind of just like sucks. But normally you're able to grind through that and still like come back. And then 3 copies of Chewin. He is your level 1 tuner. He's a light, and he doesn't have an effect to summon Yang Zings from deck. Or he has his float effect where every Yang Zing has, where they're destroyed by battle or card effect. But he also has an additional effect where if a Yang Zing you control is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard or card effect, he can summon himself from the graveyard, and then he gets banished when he leaves the field. So he just brings himself back, and you're able to go for quick synchros either on your opponent's turn or just set up for synchros where you wouldn't have been able to before. And then for the non-tuners, we have 1 Touty. It's kind of garbage to draw this card, but when you're able to summon him from deck and make high-level synchros more easily, it's really good. Also, he's just a solid beater. He used to be an out-to-winda, but stalls don't really exist anymore, so...
Rip.
Yeah. 2 copies of Sawani. He is... he's probably the best Yang Zing in Pure, because he's just a freaking beast. He's just a 19 beater, level 4, makes your synchros pretty easily. But in this deck, you can use him as a beater if you want, but he's just another Yang Zing monster. You just use them to float into Jatu most of the time, or Chewin if you need to. And then 1 copy of Bien and 1 copy of Bixie. They're just the little guys. Use them to float into your Jatu. Normally in combination with some other cards in the deck that we will get to in a second. And then I play 1 copy of Maxi and 1 copy of Effect Railer. Basically, I wanted to have hand traps that I could have interact with cards later in the deck. I'll show you. But yeah, just Veiler being a tuner is also really good because you can tune with it to make level 7 synchros with Zefra, and also you can search it off of Chuffing. Alright, for the pendulums, we've got 3 copies of Zefra. This guy's like the main component of the deck, really. He's level 6, and whenever he's pendulum summoned or destroyed by battle or card effect in the monster zone, you can search a Yang Zing or Zefra spell or trap. So that's like a lot of cards in the deck. And yeah, he's just a big body, 26 defense. It's kind of hard to get over. And you use him for like all of your synchro plays because he's such a big level. 3 copies of Zefra. This is kind of just for consistency. You can play 2 if you want, but I just play 3 because he's a Yang Zing name for Jatu, and you kind of want to get to your scales really quickly so you can just set them up and be able to grind for the rest of the game by pendulum summoning Zefra. And then 1 copy of Zefraxiton and 1 copy of Zephyr Thubin. So these guys are like the little Satellinite buddies. They're searchable off of Oracle, the field spell. They're searchable outs to like anything besides like skill drain and stuff like that. But this guy, when he's summoned, can pop a face-up card your opponent controls and a Zephyr card you control, and then he hits set cards. So they're pretty good at outing, and they're like useful for searching scales. Then for non-Zefras, we've got 3 copies of Archery Eccentric.
3 copies, holy crap.
Yeah, no other pendulum deck plays this card at multiples because it's really bad to draw for them. But for us, it's really good because it's a scale 7, meaning we can pendulum summon our Zefra. She's an MST, which allows you to kill floodgates besides anti-spell.
So pendulum summon everything?
And, sorry?
You pendulum summon everything in this deck, right?
Besides Odd Eyes, you pretty much everything.
Oh, yeah.
And herself. You can't pendulum summon herself. But yeah, So she just kills floodgates and just like if they have like a singular backer, you just kill that and then you just go off from there. But yeah, she's really good at just killing stuff. Also forgot to mention she kills problem monsters too with her tribute effect. And then 2 copies of Odd Eyes. This goes well with the field spell component that we play, but we'll get to that in a second. And then he's able to search like any of the Zefras or Archfiend Centric. And then onto the spells. We've got 3 copies of Chicken Game. This helps you get through your deck really quickly because you're combo deck and you want all of your combo pieces really quickly. And it's actually useful sometimes where you don't take damage if you have lower life points because you can like pay 1,000, draw a card.
A lot of people forget that, yeah.
Yeah, and then just summon a Yang Zing and just crash into a monster and get Jiaotu straight from the deck without taking any damage. So yeah, that's really good. Also, it just helps with your field spells and like Ancient Fairy Dragon and stuff like that. 2 copies of Oracle. Used to be at 3, but now that we play Sky Iris, it's gone to 2 because it kind of clogs if you get too many copies of it because you can only activate 1 per turn.
What does Sky Iris do?
So Sky Iris, basically you can destroy a card you control, a face-up card you control, and search an Odd Eyes card. So you're searching Odd Eyes in this deck, which is this guy. And he's a scale, so he's a solid 4 scale, which means you can pendulum summon your Zefra, which is basically all you need. And then it triggers your Yang Zing effects, which are, because it says and if you do, it doesn't say then, so they don't miss timing. So it's really good for comboing off without having to interact with your opponent, without having to like crash into a monster. You're able to just kill your own monster immediately, like turn 1. So it's really good. And just being able to get Jiaotu straight from the deck really quickly and get a scale. And then 3 terraforming because it's broke when you have 3 different field spells. And it gets through your deck really quickly. And then for spells that don't work with field spells, we have 2 copies of Yang Zing Path. In the pure, it's mostly to put back your actual Yang Zing monsters, but in this deck, it's most of the time putting back synchro monsters because you just spam so many. But yeah, 2 is completely fine. 1, I kind of needed another sometimes, and 3 is just way too many because it clogs. I played 1 copy of MST. This is the build that I took to locals just yesterday. And I couldn't really find any card that I wanted to put in, so I kind of just put in MST so I wouldn't like die to floodgates, because I do sometimes die to floodgates.
Was it good?
Even with Archfiend Centric. Yeah, I didn't really see it too often, but I saw it like 1 time, but I had to use the kill my own creation instead of a floodgate,
That's
so
rough.
I could pendulum. But I won off of that, so it was fine. And then the 2 traps I play, they're both searchable with Zefra. 1 copy of Yang Zing Creation and 1 copy of Zefra Divine Strike. Honestly, opening this card is really, really bad. But any other time when you're able to search it with Zefra, it's broken because it's just it's Infinity Barrier. And then Creation, we all know it's just stupid. And being able to search it really easily in this deck is even stupider.
Oh, you got an extra deck?
Yeah. No, I don't have an extra deck.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So start off with 1 copy of Herald of the Arclight. He's just a nice little negate if you need it. Make him with BN, obviously, so he can't be destroyed by battle. It's kind of useful in like Infernoid matchups and BA, where you can just sit on this, and if they like try and mill, it'll banish all their monsters. So yeah, it's pretty good. 1 copy of High Speedroid Chanbara. This card's kind of low-key broken. If you summon him with Suwani, he starts off at 2,500 attack, because he gets the 500 attack and defense boost, and then he can attack twice each battle phase. And at the start of the damage step, if he attacks, he gains 200 attack. So he's attacking for 27 and 29 if you make him with Suwani. So that's so much damage. That's way over half their life points. And if you have like 2 boxies with that, you just win. So yeah, he's really good and he puts a lot of damage on board. 1 copy of Metaphys Horus. This card's kind of broke too. It's more often than not, you're making it with a Pendulum monster. So you're making it with one of the Satellar Knight monsters. So you'll be able to get his effect monster effect and his Pendulum effect. So when you Secret Summon with a Pendulum monster, you can make your opponent chooses a monster they control and gives control of it to you, but it can't attack this turn. So you can use it to, if your opponent has no other monsters, you can use it to make them give you like a Dark Destroyer or something like that, which is really broken because it's actually hard for Cosmo to get over a Dark Destroyer on their own. Like, they're the ones to summon it, but it's kind of hard for them to get over it. So yeah, and then when you summon with an effect monster, you can just target a card on the field, face-up card on the field, and negate its effects forever. So It used to be really good against like Scout and stuff like that, but rip and pepperoni Scout. One copy of Oddest Meteor Burst. This guy's really, really good at killing your opponent through Damage Juggler because they can't activate monster effects during the battle phase. I've had it come up like one time where I used this guy's effect to summon a guy from your Pendulum Zone. I summoned Zefra from my Pendulum Zone and then like synced into Boxia, but that is available to you. But mostly it's just for your opponent can't activate monster effects during the battle phase effect, and he's really good at that. One copy of Ancient Fairy Dragon. This guy's really, really good in this deck. Just gaining life points after using Chicken Game, killing your own Chicken Game, or any of your field spells to search any other one, just lets you combo off really quickly. It's also relevant that he has his little summon effect from the hand, because
you get to expel someone to level 4 from your hand.
Yeah, level 4 lower from your hand. You can't enter the battle phase when you do that though, which kind of sucks. But if you need to combo off, then you need to combo off. So you do that. One copy of Yazi. He's really good in this deck. A lot of the times you'll just use him, you'll summon him, and just use him, target himself and a back row your opponent has, and then just float into like a Jiao-2 or Zefra, whichever one you don't have, and then just make a Boxia and spin everything else. But he's just he's a solid beater, he can be targeted, which is sometimes good against like BA and stuff like that. Mostly use him to just pop stuff though. Level 8's 3 copies of Boxia. It is the best card in this deck by far. Lets you combo off every single time.
You ever summon all 3?
Yeah, I summon all 3 like half the games I play.
Crap.
But yeah, so basically you're just going to be using Jiao-2 and Zefra most of the time you're summoning this guy. So you're shuffling 2 cards back when you summon him. And then you can pop another card you control and target a level 4 or lower monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So basically you just pop any extraneous card that you don't need and bring back Jiao-2 to sync with more Zefra that you have that you've Pendulum summoned. And it gets nutty from there. But yeah, he basically just allows you to kill your opponent really quickly. One copy of Mr. Prominence. This outs like everything, especially Dark Destroyer and dumb Cosmo ships like that. But yeah, and the fact you can kill your opponent's scales and monsters is really good too. He's just good at outing stuff that Boxia can't. One copy of Void Ogre Dragon. This is for the stun aspect when you go first. You can combo off and open up like Felgrand, an extraneous Boxia, and a Void Ogre Dragon, and a Divine Strike set. It's really dumb. But yeah, Void Ogre Dragon's just really good at stunning your opponent. And it's a 3k body too, like it's really hard to get over. And they just can't, it negates a spell and trap once per turn. One copy of Trish. Trish is really, really good.
Deck. Yeah, you play Trish.
A synchro deck, you play Trish. I actually don't make Trish very often, to be honest. I'd rather just make Boxia. It's better most of the time, but when you need to make Trish, you need to make Trish. And then one copy of Chao Feng for the last synchro monster. Chao Feng's pretty solid. It's good at like locking out light effects, like when you need to kill them through Damage Juggler, you can make it with like a Chiwin and a Boxia. But yeah, it just locks them out. And then when it dies, it searches a tuner. So like sometimes I search Veiler, sometimes you just search Jiao-2 or Chiwin. And then I play 2 rank 8s, Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand and Alcy, the Sylvan High Protector. So we all know what Felgrand does, that's fine. He's really good, stunning. And then Alcy, you can declare a card name and look at the top, excavate the top card of your deck. And if it's that card, add it to your hand. If it's not, send it to the graveyard. And then if a card is sent from your deck to the graveyard, you can detach a material from him and target a card your opponent controls and either put it on the top or bottom of their deck. So a lot of the times, if you synchro summon using a Zefra monster while you have Oracle on the field, you can stack a monster from your deck. So this is what I was talking about earlier. You can just like go first and synchro into like a Boxia, like make a double Boxia play, and Oracle on the second Boxia, and then bring back Jiao-2, sync into a Boxia, and then overlay the 2 Boxias for Alcy. And if you can either stack an Effect Veiler or a Maxi, and that's just really powerful. Just like being able to stack yourself into a really good hand trap is just really good. So yeah, that's pretty good.
You have a side deck?
Yeah, I can show you the side deck that I played at Locals yesterday. So I played the last 2 MSTs to complete the set, just for backer decks.
Yeah, it's just MST's MST.
Floodgates are annoying. I played 1 copy of Necro Valley because fieldspell.deck. You can use this in combination with this card, which I also cited, to just completely blow out Cosmos. Even though you already do blow them out, just like blow them out even harder. Yeah, like you can just kill all their ships with this guy, burn them for a lot, and then they can't banish because of Necro Valley. And it's really easy to search with Terraforming and Ancient Fairy Dragon. So yeah, that's those two. I sided 2 copies of Wavering Eyes. I didn't want to side 3 because if you draw multiples of Wavering Eyes, it does actually kind of suck in this deck because you really don't, like, you don't plus as much off of killing your own scales as the other decks do. Even if you do get to search another Pendulum monster, it's only good if you resolve the 3 and 4 effects, and a lot of times people like play around that. So 2 is fine. And then 2 Dark Holes and 1 Raigeki for like any deck that likes to sit on Floodgate monsters like Dark Law deck and I don't know, Majesty's Fiend, Vanny's Fiend. I played a copy of Pendulum Impenetrable just because I was trying to be cheeky.
This card's being hyped lately.
It's pretty good. I didn't side it in against anything because I didn't think anybody would like side anything that would hurt my scales. But it's really good offensively because they can't do anything to your scales. But it's also, you can actually utilize it defensively too, where like you can stop them from, like if they play Luster Plushfire, you can just chain this to Luster and they can't destroy it. And now they have 2 5 scales in their scales and they just can't do anything for the rest of the turn. Most likely. It also stops like Insight Magician and stuff like that. Or Wisdom Eye, sorry. And then for just more hand traps that are stackable and searchable with All-See and Zefra. Oracle, sorry. 2 Ghost Ogre, 1 Flying Sea. I play Common Flying Sea. Also, I play Mega Pack Common Flying Sea
Savage.
for the disrespect. And then the second Veiler and the second Maxi. Honestly, I don't main multiples of any hand trap because if you draw multiples of hand traps, you most likely lose because you can't combo off. Like, I had started off, I had played 2 Maxi in the main deck before, and it was terrible because every time I would just Maxi and then draw into another Maxi and just die. But yeah, these are just good. You know what to side these against. It's pretty easy to figure it out. But yeah.
All right, thanks very much for the deck profile. So how long have you been playing this deck?
I've been playing it for several months. It's really fun. It's just, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
You've gotten the locals a ton. You've been doing well with it?
Yeah, I've like topped or won locals like every time I've played this deck there.
All right, man. Thank you very much for your deck profile. Thank you guys for watching. See you all next time.